What risk do you see for a recession in 2025, and how would that impact housing prices? And then for this room, investor opportunities. So the remainder of this year and through the end of 2026.
I do think when we get to the middle of next year, I think we'll see lower mortgage rates.
Okay.
My view on it is that Trump will get his way somehow and mortgage rates will come down. If that happens, then I think the home building industry will be more productive than it is right now. And I think if you look historically, almost every recession and every reversal of recession, let's say, coming out of recession, is usually led by the home building industry. And I think this is no exception. So right now, housing is down, and I think housing will be coming up next year. Right now, we're in a, somewhat of a economic lull, but still GDP is going up. Unemployment's not bad. So I just think it'll be kind of ho-hum, and then I think next year will be a better year economically.
I agree. We're likely to be more of a muddle through kind of an economy for next year. Part of it is there's a quirk in the way that the OBBA tax policy or something, the tax cuts are retroactive to the beginning of 2025. No change in withholding was made. So what's going to happen is when people file their taxes at the beginning of next year, they're going to get a lot more money back than they thought. I saw an estimate the average household will get probably about $3,000 more back in tax refund than they're anticipating. That's kind of a sugar rush to the first half of the year, which might well offset some inflationary impact on household thinking. So we might make it through next year without doubt.
Your agreement there? Or?
Yes and no. I think I agree with both of you in the sense that now if you look at the year over year, whether we're going to see positive growth economically, we see positive growth this year and then we see positive growth next year for 2026. If we go by quarter to quarter, I personally feel like maybe the third quarter and the fourth quarter, we may be able to get past by with a positive growth number. But in the first quarter of 2026, I'm a little concerned because of some of the numbers that I've seen in terms of retail sales, inflation flaring up a little bit. Now we haven't seen inflation flaring up, quite significantly, but I'm concerned about the odds of what we call stagflation. I think the Fed definitely is going to cut, in September, October, probably maybe even one more time before the end of the year, so 75 basis points. But at some point in the first quarter, maybe the second quarter, they probably will stop a little bit because of concerns about inflation. And that's when I am concerned about a slightly economic slowdown. Now, whether it's going to get to negative or not, it's really hard to say. I personally feel like we may actually have 1 quarter of negative growth, 2 quarters of negative growth. We are in a recession, but I think it's still very debatable whether we're going to get there.